Welcome to this week's live webinar, ASX Weekly Review, 7th of September 2016. Any individual reading or listening should discuss with their financial planner or advisor the merits of any recommendation or offer presented in this material for their own specific circumstances and realise that not all investments are appropriate for every individual. The Investor Signals Premium Account Service, the details are up on screen there, and if you'd like to speak with me about it, please contact me on the 02 number or leon@investorsignals.com. Moving straight into tonight's presentation, we move through this pretty quickly. It's a quick summary of the type of ideas that I guess we see as the key focus in markets right at the moment. It's not designed as a full strategy session. We'll still continue to do that strategy piece as a monthly update. So kicking things off, the big theme that I see playing out in the markets at the moment is investors are selling defensive yield names. So property trusts, infrastructure names, examples are down anywhere from 10 to 15% from their recent highs. Up on screen at the moment is a graph of Scentre Group. We've seen it pull back. So this is the Australian division of the old Westfield business, includes Australian and New Zealand shopping centres. We've seen the stock pull back from 550 down to 467. I think somewhere down here it's a buying opportunity and you want to be watching for a key reversal. I think we're maybe only a day or two away from it presenting a very compelling buying opportunity. Let's have a look at some of the other property names which are similar type of patterns playing out. And I think these are worthy of being added on your watch list because there will be a bounce coming in the very near future on these names. So GPT, another one, fallen from $5.70 back down to $5. It's going to find support shortly and move higher. Westfield, one of the other top property stocks, pulled back from $11.22 down to $9.88. It's getting down to a buy level at the moment. Outside of those three key property names, Stocklands is another one. I think this has been overdone. I think it probably got a little bit further to go on the downside. Stocklands could see it trade around 450, but ultimately it'll find buying support, and these property trust names will bounce into maybe the end of September, middle of October, and they'll create a good buying opportunity. Outside of these property names, some of the other defensive yield names, let's have a quick look at a couple. AGL as example, it's pulled back a long way from $23 or $21 back to $18. A couple other names, Boral, so we like this on a pullback. It's pulled back from $7.50 back down to around $6.40. IAG looks interesting. It's pulled back from sort of $6.20 back down to $5.42. I think it'll find support at or near this level. Suncorp within the banking space, same thing, pulled back from $14, now down trading around $12.70. So there's some of the names we like. Outside of those, let's have a quick look at where we see some bullish momentum at the moment. Newcrest is bouncing off this sort of $21 support level. I think CSL's been overdone down here at $102, so I think that should be on the watch list. On the short side in the market, the names that we like are Orica. So we see this one with ongoing pressure to the downside. 1350 is our target there. Qantas was moving in our favour, but it has rallied in the last couple of days, but we're still looking for that to roll over and pressure to the downside. And to finish off sort of that short selling group, the Flight Centre group, I think that struggles at or near these levels. Before I conclude, let's have a quick look at Transurban, because I think this one belongs on the list down here at around $11. The stock's corrected from $12.50 back down to $11. I think it's a buy down here. Brambles is one of our preferred opportunities in the market. It's corrected from $14 thereabouts down to $12. And to finish off, probably the other name that is worth covering is Cube. So this here has fallen from $12.80 back down to from $2.80 back down to $2.40. I think it finds support at or near this level. Now, all these stocks that I've mentioned tonight, if we come across to the blog, which if you haven't visited before, visit blog.investorsignals.com and you'll be presented with the home page. A couple of different ways to navigate around the site. You can simply come down and select whatever symbol it is that you're interested in reading up on our commentary, or you can come down, select the month. So in this case, if I click on September, it'll load all the blog posts that have been made during the month of September. And just to skip through a couple of those, AGL, as I spoke about, we see it finding support on this sell-off. Transurban, we've been highlighting that at around $11, this should become a buying opportunity, and we're now trading down at that point. Boral, one I spoke about earlier. Amcor, I think this is still a buy on the dip, and it makes sense to accumulate this name as sell covered calls. And here was a post on the 2nd of September where I highlighted all the names that should be added to your watch list as they approach buying opportunities. And we've pretty much concluded earnings season, but over the last month we've been making regular daily posts about the earnings growth and outlook of top 50 companies. So if you want to understand more about that, that's where you'd come into this section of the blog. Pick a particular stock, and let's just say Seek as an example, and you can read up there about our earnings, analysis of the company's earnings, and where we identify buying opportunities as well. So that gives you a bit of background on the type of strategies we're running on client portfolios. Recent post just simply takes you direct. So Transurban, if we want a quick look at that, there's the post on Transurban. If you're not signed up for the blog, type in your email address, your first name, your last name, hit subscribe, and on a daily basis as we make these posts to the blog, they'll be emailed directly to you. Thank you for listening in. I look forward to speaking again next week. And if you'd like to know more about the service, please contact me using the details on screen.